Here we are in our Azure Machine Learning workspace. Here we want to explore speech synthesis and speech recognition. First, let's create a notebook and call it speech. So in this lesson, we'll look into speech recognition to transcribe audio into text and speech synthesis to convert text to audio. So ensure that your compute instance is running, and once that is done, we will need to install the Azure Cognitive Services Speech API, and you need to run the pipe install azure.cognitiveservices.speech. So once that is done, we need to create two variables, one to access the cognitive key, and then the other to access the cognitive service region. So in there, let's paste those two lines of code. Now you can find the key in your Azure Cognitive Service. So click on the keys and endpoints, and there you can copy the key one, which is what you're going to paste for the cognitive key, and look at the location region area. You can see the service region. Here we are using East US. So go back to the notebook and update those strings. Now, once that is done, we will need to import a couple of namespaces before we move forward, such as SpeechConfig, Speech Recognizer, Audio Config, which are objects and classes we need to use to communicate with speech REST APIs. Now, in here we have the import OS and IPython. These are used for file system access and audio playback in the notebook. So click on run, and finally we need, our first step here would be to get the SpeechConfig object ready. So in the next, click on code, and so this line of code, this object needs the access key and region name we previously stored in two variables. So with this, we are ready for some speech synthesis and speech recognition.